Alright, what's up everyone? This is Virtual Car Meets VCM, back at it with another video after what, like a year? My bad. Life gets in the way, man. Anyways, I'm gonna do a year review on my SCATPACK, and I'm gonna talk about the good and the bad. I'm gonna switch over to a voiceover in a bit, just because I don't know how the wind is out here. I don't want the microphone to get all screwed up, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And one more thing, we had unexpected rains here in Southern California, so I was gonna talk about the paint and how well it holds up. Obviously we're not gonna be able to, I'm gonna talk about it and I'm gonna get some shots, but you can see that it's all dirty because of that rain. So just trust me when I say the paint is good. Alright everybody, so also I'm gonna show you, after 1 year I put 11,000 miles on the car, and I just want that to be clear. So check this out. Oh, what the hell is that? So 11,250 miles, all car coming. And then check out the 0 to 60 time though. I think you guys are gonna be impressed. Look at that. Look at that. I may or may not have been going downhill when I did that, but you know what? Oh well, I ain't gonna say that. I'll tell you guys, but that's about it. Alright, so we're gonna switch over to a voiceover now. Alright, so I'm switched over to the microphone now, voiceover, so hopefully y'all can hear me a little better. So I'm gonna start off with the good, and then I'm gonna have a couple of quote-unquote bad things about the car that I've noticed over the year. So the first good thing is the paint is really great. It's good quality. I don't care what people say about Dodge and their cheap quality paint, but I think it's been good. The clear coat has been good. I'm a big detailing guy, so I notice minimal like swirl marks, clear coat hazing, and I've experienced zero issues with that. Even with swirl marks, it's been exceptional. I've had minimal swirl marks. I use the 2-bucket method when I wash my cars, and I have a Nissan and this Dodge, and the Nissan, it's noticeable after a couple months after I do a paint correction that the swirl marks return, but with the Dodge it's been good. Another thing, or the second thing actually, is the brakes. So the Brembos, man, they've been super good. They stop on a dime, and I haven't driven the car hard enough to notice any brake fade. I'm sure you can get some fade if you track it, but I mean most of us aren't doing that. So for a canyon run, or if you're stopping and driving aggressively, it can definitely hold up. Even with the smaller Brembo options, they're really good. I would recommend someone to go with that if you're not going to be doing any aggressive driving. Like, I'm talking, when I say aggressive, I mean tracking the damn car. Which I personally don't think the Dodge Charger is a track car. But I mean, you can do whatever you want. It's a free country, right? So I like the slotted rotors too. They're great. And then the fact that Dodge has brake ducts to cool the brakes from the bumper, and it is really good too. I like the aesthetic with the functionality of performance too. So shout out to Dodge for that. So the third thing is the overall drive quality and drive features that it offers. So this is the first car that I noticed, and you can feel a big difference when you switch it from eco, sport, and street and track. When you go through the modes, you can definitely, that's like one of the only car that I'm like, oh yeah, I can. You don't just press a stupid sport button and you think you're driving faster. Like, you really notice the gear changes are way more responsive. The steering gets tighter. And I mean, I can imagine with the SRT or the Hellcat, you can feel the suspension, and also let's not forget about the power with that. But anyways, the overall drive quality is great. When you want to drive smoothly and efficiently, well, quote unquote efficiently, it's good. And when you want to get on the throttle, that track button is there for you too. And I love how the traction control, electronic stability control, really makes a big difference when you switch through features in sport modes. Like you can definitely feel the traction give you a little more freedom every time you press that button. So that's good. And another thing, number 4, is power. I mean, it's 485 horsepower, but who's counting, right? So I'm gonna call it 500 because that's a beautiful number, I think. So 500 horsepower. You got a lot of torque too. Let's not forget about that. I mean, do I need to say more? 500 horsepower, 475 feet-pound of torque. I mean, dude, if you don't have fun with that, there's something wrong with you. I mean, you gotta just get a Prius straight up. Aside from the power, you also have the comfort there. Yeah, I tell my wife that the seats are like lazy boys. Like I have a 370Z with bucket seats, and then I have the complete opposite when I'm driving the Charger, which is why whenever we go on these long trips, whenever we want to head down to San Diego or downtown LA, we always take the Charger, no question about it, because I mean it's just a super comfy car. It feels like you're just the feeling of being in a big car is just I just love that feeling, and you get that with the Charger. You feel safe, and if you don't have your windows tinted, you got to do that, because once you get those windows tinted, you have like it feels like you're in a house, a private house. It's so spacious with those, and then with those tinted windows, no one can see a thing in there. And let's not forget the heated and cooled seats if you did get that option, which I did. And I also have the heated steering wheel. I mean, damn. It's like when you wake up in the morning to go to work, you don't want to get out of bed. So but you have to. And so you get out of bed, you put that remote start on. By the time you get in that car, it feels like you're in bed again, bro. Straight up. I'm not even lying. Buy it and find out. Next thing, and I have 3 more after this, so bear with me. I'm sure you guys don't mind hearing the good things. So the next thing is the looks. I mean, the aesthetic features, the functional rear bumper, the functional front bumper, the functional hood scoop, the aerodynamics that the car provides, the lowered stance compared to the lower trim Chargers, the brake ducts, the fender well ducts. I mean, this car has the looks and the functionality, unlike a lot of cars that are on the road with these fake ass vents that claim to be performance cars. I'm not gonna throw any shade, but Type R. Anyways, all right. Reliability is the next one. Zero issues with the reliability. I haven't had any issues at all. Car's been solid. So there's nothing much you can say when you have no issues. And then as far as the maintenance goes, after driving the car for 11,000 miles, you just have to have 2 oil changes done. I said that right. I'm sorry. So 2 oil changes done every 6,000 miles. I use full synthetic. I'm about to do the second oil change, and I'm also going to do a tire rotation because I've been burning that back rubber a little too much. Can you blame me though? But anyways, so maintenance isn't a real big deal. You're not driving a German sports car, so it's pretty affordable. So yeah, we're gonna jump over to the bad. Well, there are a couple things that I noticed that need some calling out, but nothing crazy. So we'll jump into that right now. All right. So for the bad, I just got 3 things actually. Not really much to say, and one of them is like a come on, dude. So the first one, which is a come on, dude, is fuel economy. So yeah, it is bad, but it's kind of like you got to know this when you buy this car that you're gonna get back gas mileage. So I've averaged about 15 miles a gallon, anywhere from like 12 to 18. 18 is really hard to get though. You gotta hit a lot of open road and highway to get that, with not much city driving. But just know when you buy this car, just know when you buy a 500 horsepower, 8-cylinder, 6.4 liter car that weighs 4,000 pounds, you might spend some money on some fuel. So on to the next is and this one is like I do think this is kind of silly that this was included, but I mean the tires. You got these 245 all season Goodyear. I don't even know what they're called. They're just 245 all seasons on a 500 horsepower car. It's ridiculous, and I know you can upgrade to bigger wheels, but I mean, dude, I mean wider wheels. I'm sorry, but come on, like even if we can upgrade, why would you throw those as the lower option? I mean, this car, I say it's a good car to drive, but when it starts raining and you get those 245s on there, even on eco mode where the car starts off at second gear, you're going to spin some tire, you're going to lose traction, and God forbid anything happens when you do that, you're going to realize that these 245 all seasons are a joke. So as soon as these tires run out, I'm definitely upgrading to 275. I'm thinking some probably Nittos. I don't know, but I definitely think that minimum this car should have 275 all around because it's just too much power, too much torque to have these silly little tires on there. I mean, I wouldn't even throw these on my Z, and that car only has about 400 horsepower and 300 foot-pounds of torque. So even on that, I wouldn't trust those. And then the last thing that I noticed is I have minor flaws on the dash. So if you look at my Uconnect screen right at the bottom, the trim that the silver piece that goes around it, it's kind of like deforming and getting in the way to where when you're sitting in the car and driving, you can't see the bottom of the screen. It kind of blocks out the apps word, like the bottom half of the apps word is kind of blocked out, and I just don't know how that's going to be in 2 or 3 years. So I'm kind of worried about that. But that's kind of all I noticed with the interior flaws. So I mean, not much to say when it comes to flaws with this car. So it's been good overall for sure. All right, guys. So all in all, I've been through the good and the bad. Obviously, there's a lot more good than there is bad to this car. I highly recommend someone to buy this, preferably used, just to save you a couple bucks. Well, a lot. Well, actually, these cars hold their value really well too, compared to other cars. So, I mean, these after 3 years are going for in the mid to high 30s, depending on the condition, which is pretty good. Well, considering you bought this car the same price I did of $52,000 sticker price, this car would sell for mid to high 30s. So it's a great car. I don't regret it. Zero regrets at all. It's been fun, and I'm enjoying or hoping to enjoy a couple more years with this car, and we'll see where we will go from there. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. I'm trying not to cuss because a lot of people were complaining about it in my last video. Plus, I am trying to become a YouTube partner, so they don't monetize people that cuss, so I gotta chill out with that. My bad, y'all. I'll start being more family friendly for the 5 of you watching. So anyways, thank you guys. Later.